first carry here for Robinson. Bulldozes past him, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1.
That was pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Back to Robinson now on first down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Getting this into the hands of Turner. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
This defense for the Vikings, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Going quickly here to Thomas. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Howell completing the quick throw out wide. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Cousins on first down. And a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
13 yards there and a Washington first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. Second down and a run by Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. Now throwing on first down here. And he is going to lose yardage here. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 14. Now Howell. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 40, the 30, 20, 10. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us with all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
They'll run with Cook. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Cousins to throw it. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook from 6 yards away. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point up and good by Folk. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they're on a first or second seed come playoff time.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing. And that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he could make anything happen.
And the final number, pretty impressive courtesy of Next Gen Stats, 21.4 miles per hour. Powell throwing on third down here. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Touchdown, Washington. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Taken in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Well, that move's all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down. They go play action. Cousins. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Robinson up the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. This time they'll throw it with Howell. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Howell personnel now to throw it. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Washington. Cole Turner, 40 yards. And the Commanders go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 21-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Take it in at the 3. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
To throw again on second down, Cousins, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. This is intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. On second down, a run with Gibson. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Powell. And that will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Sly able to put this one through. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. Take it in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be ridden out of bounds down inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Now Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Powell to the air on 1st and 10. And that's caught inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 1st down, Howell to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. This will be fielded inside the 5. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on that part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Benjamin St. Just. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled